then met with an accident, and now he really couldn't do much. And he will talk about his journey in his own words. I won't steal his thunder away. But again, hearing him that day was like giving goosebumps to people. So I asked him one question. I said, during the COVID, when normally abled people really were feeling the mental stress of how do you manage the mental health during COVID, how did you embark upon this journey of going beyond and thinking of breaking a Guinness Book of World Record in the process on, going around in a wheelchair? That's what his record is about, and he will talk more about it. Now, what do we hope by showcasing this story is that the countless people who are spatially abled, especially the kind of work that ADAPT has been doing for 50 odd years, it is a case study by itself, it's a story by itself. And I know that, I was told that, there are currently on a regular basis 300 odd, children that you're working with. And in the 50 years, I cannot even begin to imagine the number of lives that you would have impacted very positively, right? Some of these stories are some things that some of the AVs that you saw playing here were also of spatially abled people doing extraordinary things. So we wanted to put the spotlight on spatially abled people and how they have been inspired and how we can make sure that the rest of India is also inspired by hearing about their stories. I mean, it's easy to talk, but very difficult to walk the talk. And, for the work that ADAPT has been doing, I think, it's my head bows down in gratitude for all the work that has been done by the ADAPT team. And I'm sure every day is an extreme learning and new learning, unlearning all the way in dealing with all kinds of challenges and making sure that people are, the inclusiveness of it all, So that's something which is extremely, extremely vital, the inclusiveness of it all. So again, with OMG Emera India, it is not only a show which places an emphasis on spatially abled people, but it's about inclusiveness. It's about spatially abled as well as the normally able people working together to create historic moments. So with that, we just thought that this would be a perfect platform and a perfect opportunity for us to showcase some of the things that ADAPT has been doing, some of the things that we've been trying to do with OMG Emera India, and some of the things where Krishna has lent his mass appeal to the show. And the proudest thing that I've heard Krishna say in the last 7-8 seasons is when we spoke a couple of days back, and he told me that his 2 children go to Billabong School, and he told me for the first time when I went up on stage, the principal called me and he referred to me as the anchor of OMG Emera India and inspiring a generation rather than his other roles that he plays on mass entertainment channels. I mean, that gives it all, right? That's just the work that he's done. We are thankful to him for his continued support all along, and we are keen to bring in more and more stories on OMG Emera India, and we hope that it continues for 100 more seasons at least, because India is full of such stories, and inspiration is something that you always need. There will never be a time when we do not seek inspiration. So we just hope that we are able to continue the journey all along, and with all the support and the affection that we are getting from everybody, I'm sure that we will be able to succeed in our mission. With that, that's all that I have to say. Thank you for giving this opportunity once again.
Thank you, Avinash, for those impactful words, and thank you for bringing us together today. Well, abled, disabled, all people together. Let's remember those words. ADAPT was founded by Dr. Mittu Allur in 1972. It is a knowledge and research-driven organization that has impacted over 300 million lives around the world. They provide crucial paramedical, educational, vocational, and community services to not only disabled people, but also the people that support them. As the leading advocate for children and youth with disabilities across the nation, ADAPT has continuously been a powerful voice in the fight for their rights and the need for inclusion. In fact, under Dr. Allur's leadership, ADAPT literally adapted to become a transdisciplinary services provider that combines all streams of therapy, from physical, occupational, and psychological, combined with education, all under one roof. Their outreach and subject matter expertise has drawn people from around the world to participate in their programs. In fact, at this very moment, they have participants from 7 different countries for a 3-month course called CII, or Community Initiatives in Inclusion. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's watch a short video that shows us how much of work that they have done.
Dum da na na dee na 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 dee na 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 dee na 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 da da dum da dee na ta na dee na ta na dee na da da dum da dee na ta na dee na ta na dee na da da dum da dee na ta na dee na dum da na na dee na 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 dee na 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 dee na 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 da da dum da dee na ta na dee na ta na dee na da da dum da dee na ta na dee na ta na dee na da
Remember those words, able, disabled, all people together. Dr. Mithu Allur advocates inclusive education as well as inclusive employment. She has championed the cause of education for all in India and was also a member of the Central Advisory Board of Education, the oldest and most important advisory board of the government in India. Her arduous research, data mining, and documentation has driven numerous changes in the government policies and in society at large. Dr. Allur has passionately propagated the inclusion of people with disability on both the social as well as economic front. The success of her efforts has seen ADAPT alumni accepted in many institutions in this country. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I welcome the woman that put disabilities on the map in India, Dr. Mithu Allur.
Good afternoon. I must say this is really an honor to have TV 18 and this channel, and I must confess I'm a bit ashamed I hadn't seen this before, but after meeting Avinash and Krishna, I promise that I will definitely be seeing. And I can't imagine how wonderful our auditorium is looking. So thank you all very much, and thank you so much for inviting me at this very important meeting. Well, you know, I was actually speaking exactly what you wanted me to speak in front of all these people yesterday. So I think I give you the permission to go to sleep first while I'm talking. Well, you know, mine is a story of many journeys, and one of the journeys that I think I liked the most is when I became a parent. So I'm a parent of a person with disability. I don't like the word disabled, you know, because I feel that all of us are disabled in some way or the other. We just have invisible disability, like too much ambition and too much anger, or whatever, if that's called disability. So I think that that's not a good word, disabled, but I'm very proud to say she's here, right in front of me, Malini Chib. And she's come a long way, but as I was telling all of you yesterday, that when she was born, very little was known. They said, what is cerebral palsy? And actually, that time, the jargon term was spastic. So the poor health minister, I don't blame him now, but because he won't say it now, but at that time, he said, is it spastic or plastic, you know? So, you know, we've come a long while from the plastic days. I think no health minister will now say that, but that's the journey of the 50 years. It's been a lot of training and teaching prime ministers and governors and, of course, all of us who are just very ordinary people. So we're so pleased that we are here because we are really very ordinary. And you know, we haven't, like yourself, Kamal, we haven't achieved, I mean, all that kind of thing, but we have endeavored, you know, we have endeavored to change social attitudes towards people with disability. And I think the first thing was a real outrage as a mother that my daughter was called a vegetable, you know, and of course, being privileged and having the means to go abroad, we soon found out within a month and a half that she was above average in intelligence. And of course, I won't talk about her because she won't allow me, but she's now got 2 masters, one in gender studies and one is information technology. And she's in Tata Sons as diversity officer. So I think it would be nice if I could give her a clap. Okay. Because Malini's been my greatest teacher. I was a bit of a historian, and so this is going to be just a part of my evening studies, really, the History Channel. And so I didn't know very much myself, so I had to do a lot of study and became an educationist in London. And thereafter, I believed that really it is not an individual tragedy belonging to any single family. From what I've found in England and Europe, it is the government, Islam Dharavi, which I think was mentioned, and then we spread our wings around the country. And we went to 28 states because, you see, I believed that the most important things was federalism. Let many flowers, to just be a cliche Chinese proverb, that let many flowers bloom. And so we went there and technically set it all up in Calcutta, Delhi, Madras, Kanpur, Lucknow, you name it, all 28 states. Small schools with our own money. We are modern day Robin Hoods. We take from you all, give to the poor. So that's what we are professional beggars, okay. So then that's lit a lamp. And we were happy to do that because we were ambitious, not for power. Who cares for that? Not for prestige, not for money. We were absolutely drawn to the children, and their family was our family. And so spiritualism was a big thing of the Spastic Society, now called ADAPT. So I think humanism came in when we said, now stop being professionals all the time. Think of love, compassion, and combine it with professionalism. So that is what many of your books, if you ever have time to see the first chapter, is what we did was, we of course put in a lot of technical knowledge into this country, but we combined it with love, compassion, as Plato says, don't be ashamed of emotion, because if you lost it, you lost it, you know, as a person. So with that, and then humanism, federalism, we didn't care who was in power, but the show must go on. So the main thing is we loved the stakeholders, the parents, the children, and very few organizations will give that kind of focus as ADAPT has done to our kids and the parents. And with that, of course, lots of honors came in, lots of books were written, and today you have ADAPT, and when I say ADAPT, you know, the quality of every organization, as you will see from your own TV18, as you have worked, is the crew, is your staff, is your followers. And you have a very outstanding, committed, dedicated followers in the Spastic Society. In fact, we're in ashram. And we are very pleased that you have come, and thank you all very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Allur. I think you have inspired generations of people who want to make a difference. And now the moment we've all been waiting for. I'd like to now request the host of OMG Ye Mera India to please step forward. Krishna, please now tell us your story and your journey with OMG Ye Mera India.
थैंक यू थैंक यू थैंक यू. बहुत कम तालियां बजी, थोड़ी और ज़्यादा ताली बजाइए. हाँ, ताली बजाना अच्छा होता है, हेल्थ के लिए भी बहुत अच्छी चीज़ होती है. और अब मेरे लिए ये कम थी, लेकिन अब डॉक्टर अलूर के लिए, उनकी सारी टीचर्स के लिए और उनके स्टाफ के लिए, सब के लिए ज़ोरदार तालियां. एंड मैम, मैं नॉट एज अ होस्ट और एज एन एक्टर, एज अ ह्यूमन आपको सैल्यूट करता हूँ. जेन्युइनली इट्स सच अ वंडरफुल डे टू बी हियर. और इससे अच्छी शुरुआत आई थिंक OMG की नहीं हो सकती. एक OMG जगह पे, मैं हमेशा OMG कहता हूँ, ये एक OMG जगह है वाकई. इसके लिए तो तालियां बनती हैं. इट्स अ प्लेजर मैम. और अविनाश सर के लिए भी जोरदार था. लेकिन मैं उनके पहले बता दूं उनके, मैं जो चीज़ कहना चाहता हूँ, ही सच अ जेन्युइन पर्सन. मैं जब भी अविनाश सर से मेरी मुलाकात होती है, हम लोग जब OMG को डिस्कस करते हैं या फिर इंटरव्यूज़ में साथ में होते हैं या हमारे लॉन्चेस होते हैं, तभी हमारी ज़्यादातर मुलाकात होती है. बिकॉज हम सभी बिज़ी रहते हैं अपने अपने काम में. तो अविनाश सर हमेशा कहते हैं कि इंडिया में स्टोरीज़ की हमें कभी कमी नहीं होगी. इसके बहुत सारे सीजन्स आएंगे, 100 सीजन्स आएंगे. लेकिन मैं शूट करता हूँ, मुझे पता है हिस्ट्री TV 18 की जो टीम है वो कितनी मेहनत करती है शो के लिए. वो टैलेंट ढूंढना, उनको जाके शूट करना, उनके गांव में जाना, पूरी टीम को ले जाना, हिस्ट्री है, इसीलिए एक एक चीज़ का ख्याल रखना. इट्स नॉट अ जोक. इतने सालों से आपको हम एंटरटेनमेंट प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं, इतनी इंस्पायरिंग स्टोरीज़ लेकर आते हैं, फ़न स्टोरीज़ लेकर आते हैं. अविनाश सर के लिए, हिस्ट्री TV 18 के लिए ज़ोरदार तालियां हो जाएं. मुझे लोग हमेशा कहते हैं, वो कहते हैं ना कि मैं बड़े सारे शो कर चुका हूँ टीवी पे. आप लोग ने मुझे देखा हुआ है बड़े बहुत सारे शोज़ में, अभी भी देखते हैं. बट लोग कहते हैं कभी कभी कि एक कोई शो होता है विच इज़ फेदर इन योर कैप, है ना, कि ये शो सबसे अलग है, इट्स अ फेदर इन योर कैप. बट ये फेदर इन माई कैप नहीं है. दिस इज़ अ कैप स्टडेड विद डायमंड्स. OMG मेरा इंडिया है, वो है मेरे लिए. आई लव दिस शो. और फिर से एक और एक्साइटिंग सीज़न हम आपके लिए लेकर आए हैं, विच इज़ द 9th सीज़न. आजकल तो 2-3 सीज़न हो जाते हैं तो लोग पार्टियाँ मनाते हैं, क्योंकि अब जो है सोशल मीडिया आ गया. और सोशल मीडिया पे एक आधे मिनट का कंटेंट भी लोग स्क्रॉल कर देते हैं अगर इंटरेस्टिंग नहीं लगता. तो आज के ज़माने में 9th सीज़न आना, ये भी अपने आप में एक बहुत बड़ी बात है. एंड थैंक यू टू ऑल द लॉयल ऑडियंसेस जिन्होंने हमें ये प्यार दिया है और हम 9th सीज़न तक पहुँचे हैं. वैसे ताली बनती थी इस बात में. फर्स्ट सीज़न जब मैंने साइन किया था, आपने मुझसे पूछा कि मेरी कहाँ गई वो, अच्छा आप यहाँ हैं, तो आपने मुझे पूछा कि मेरी जर्नी कैसी रही है. तो जब फर्स्ट सीज़न, व्हेन आई साइन द फर्स्ट सीज़न, तो मुझे सर पता नहीं था कि हम अपने आप में एक हिस्ट्री बनाने जा रहे हैं. और थैंक्स टू द टीम, थैंक्स टू ऑल द पीपल हु हैव बीन एसोसिएटेड. सुयश इज़ ऑल्सो हियर, इज़ हेडिंग OMG मेरा इंडिया. और इन सब की एनर्जीज इतनी अच्छी हैं. एक बोलते ना, एक मुझे अभी बड़ा अच्छा सवाल पूछा किसी ने, दैनिक भास्कर से सर आए थे, कहाँ गए, हाँ सर, उन्होंने पूछा ये शो इतना क्यों चला है, ये शो इतना क्यों चला, आपको क्या लगता है. तो मैंने इनको जवाब दिया कि टीवी पे बहुत सारे शोज़ आते हैं, लेकिन एक एनर्जी बहुत मैटर करती है सबकी, कि आप क्या शोकेस कर रहे हो. हम उस तरीके का शो नहीं बनाते जहाँ, मैं ये नहीं कह रहा कि वो शो, मैं किसी से कंपेयर मत करना, ऐसा ना हो कि मैं यहाँ बाहर चला जाऊँ और फिर बाद में सोशल मीडिया पे कुछ और आ जाए. कि हम ये नहीं दिखाते कि कैसे गरीबी से उसने ये किया, या मदर रो रही है, या उसकी कोई अलग कहानी दिखा रहे हैं. हम प्योर टैलेंट जो है वो शोकेस करते हैं OMG ये मेरा इंडिया में. आई थिंक तभी लोगों को सबसे ज़्यादा ये शो पसंद आता है. और इस साल भी आपको बहुत सारी इंस्पायरिंग स्टोरीज़ मिलेंगी. एक OMG हीरो एक और हमारे बीच में मौजूद हैं, कमल कांत. इनके लिए भी बहुत ज़ोरदार तालियां हो जाएं. मैं एक जेन्युइन एक चीज़ शेयर करना चाहता हूँ। सुयश को एक ये पता है, हम लोग अभी गोवा में शूटिंग कर रहे थे। वैसे इस साल का जो सीज़न है थोड़ा सा और ब्यूटीफुल लगेगा आपको। OMG इज़ गोना लुक मोर ब्यूटीफुल। लोग मुझसे हमेशा पूछते हैं ना कि हर एक सीज़न में अब क्या डिफरेंट है, अब क्या अलग है। तो आई थिंक 9 सीज़न अभी तक बहुत खूबसूरत ही लगा है जहाँ जहाँ हिंदुस्तान में हमने शूट किया है। बट आई थिंक कश्मीर जो था इस बार वाकई बहुत खूबसूरत था। तो इस साल का सीज़न और ज़्यादा खूबसूरत दिखने वाला है। सॉरी मैंने बात काट दी। तो कमल की स्टोरी मैं हमेशा चैनल के साथ बैठता हूँ, सुयश के साथ बैठता हूँ जब मैं अपने एंकर लिंक्स पढ़ रहा होता हूँ या उस बंदे के बारे में जान रहा हूँ, क्योंकि मुझे जानना ज़रूरी है एज अ नरेटर, क्योंकि मैं ही आप लोगों को नरेशन देता हूँ। तो जब तक मैं ही नहीं समझूंगा बात को तो वो आप तक कैसे पहुँचेगी। तो भी मैं इसके साथ बैठ के डिस्कस कर रहा था कि ये कमल कांत, अच्छा आई नो हिम, अच्छा इसने क्या किया, कैसे। जब इनकी स्टोरी, इनकी जर्नी मुझे पता चली, आप बिलीव करेंगे इस सच्चाई है। अपन आपको हम कहते हैं इंस्पिरेशन, कि हम इस चीज़ से इंस्पायर हुए या हमने उसको देख के अपनी लाइफ को बेहतर कर लिया। मेरी नी में पेन था शूटिंग के दिन, जिस दिन मैं शूट कर रहा था अविनाश सर, और इनकी स्टोरी मैंने पढ़ी और मैं वो एंकर लिंक दे रहा था। मुझे ऐसा लगा यार ये क्या नी पेन में मैं टेंट्रम दिखा रहा हूँ यूनिट को, या फिर मैं खड़ा नहीं हो पा रहा हूँ। मेरे में पता नहीं कोई एनर्जी आ गई और मैंने कहा कि नो, हम कैसे हमें शूटिंग पूरी करनी। छोटी छोटी चीज़ें, दिस जस्ट अ स्मॉल एग्जाम्पल कि आप कैसे कैसे इंस्पायर होते हैं। वाकई यार ये एक रियल हीरो हैं कमल कांत। इनके लिए वाकई ज़ोरदार तालियां हो जाएं। रियली एन इंस्पिरेशन फॉर लॉट ऑफ पीपल। सो थैंक यू। आपके जो भी सवाल होंगे उसके जवाब हम देंगे, लेकिन उससे पहले ये जो हमारा नया सीज़न है इसका प्रोमो जो है मैं आप लोगों को दिखाना चाहूँगा। सो कैन वी हैव द प्रोमो प्लीज़।
अरे कौन है बे? यार मैं चैन से अपना फेवरेट टीवी शो भी नहीं देख सकता क्या? बाद में आना।
जिनी भाई प्लीज, मैं नहीं आऊंगा बाद।
देखिए मैं बहुत दूर से आया हूँ।
जहां से आया वहीं चले जा।
एक बार सुन लो ना।
जिनी भाई प्लीज।
अरे 2 मिनट, मेरी एक छोटी सी विश है यार। अरे बोला ना नहीं।
Wow, I think he needs a big round of applause. I think he's making all our wishes come true right now. Thank you so much, Krishna. And now I'd like to request the three of you to step down from the stage and take your seats in the audience, because we have a beautiful program planned for you. And that's the best point to see it from. We truly have some joyful performances planned by the talented stars of ADAPT coming up right now.
Thank you, Andrea.
You're welcome.
She's saying welcome, welcome, welcome to all of you, and thank you to Andrea. Before you start your questions and Mali has her answers ready, I would just like to say something, rather share something, as to what ADAPT is to me. ADAPT to me is, a beautiful, pure love story of a mother and a daughter. This is that story which transcended personal tragedy and just reached out to so many millions of people with disability, people who had no hope, and also to their parents, parents and families. So they brought in not just services, but a lot of hope and dreams through the eyes of people who just didn't know whether they should dream about their children or not. And all this happened by, I mean, it was done by our founder chairperson, Dr. Meetu Allur, in 1972. And the raison d'etre, of course, was Malini, her daughter. And 1972, India was a total virgin territory as far as disability and services for disability was concerned. Total untrodden path, virgin territory. So you can very well imagine the amount of effort, the amount of passion, and the amount of research and studies went into creating this organization, which is a pioneer organization and has completed 50 years on 2nd of October. I wish you all were there, you know, Avinash and Krishna for us, but maybe next time. So, I mean, this is a fabulous journey. You know, there are a lot of people who follow, like us, we follow. And they are absolutely our inspiration, Dr. Allur and Malini. So we are followers, but people who are leaders and in very difficult times, when they create something so beautiful, it just needs a huge round of applause, a never-ending round of applause. So thank you, Meetudi, always for being our inspiration. As far as Malini goes, Andrea, you've given her an introduction, but for us, Malini is Molly, and she's our friend. And what a person she is. And we are blessed to have her in our lives. Because, not because she's courageous, she's very modest and humble. She doesn't want us to talk like that. But I must share with you all is that the positivity and the happiness that she radiates is infectious. It's truly infectious. So when we have these two people, you know, inspiring us in our journey, and this is like Dr. Meetudi said that this is an ashram, you know, and she's a Gandhian. So it really is an ashram with two beautiful souls guiding us, inspiring us. We have a lovely team who just works fabulously well with our mentor sitting out there. And here we have Malini, who's always driving us and always telling us to work harder and harder. Even today, she's told me, don't deviate from what I've written here. So her answers to the question that you'll be asking. So over to Andrea, to you.
Thank you, Bhavna. Malini, I have to say your story is truly inspiring. It gives each one of us the hope that we can never give up. As someone who grew up with